Just make sure that everybody is aware. Do you have a yurt emote, Oscar? That's pretty sick. Alright, so this first match that we're going to have on stream is going to be Kaloret Rider versus SirLargeness, aka Furtop. Furtop playing Seeker of Void, IMS Phoenix, versus Kaloret Rider's Turbo Yurt deck. I'm very excited to see this. This is HMT with Seeker of Earth. Okay, I don't understand yet, but we'll see. Oh, we have one Yurt. Okay, so that's a thing. So here's the True Seeker. How does this deck win? I want to see how that works exactly, and we're gonna actually go ahead and see a Season of War trigger here to get rid of some of the stuff. Another Yurt comes up though because you can't stop the Yurt. Rebuild into Yurt. Okay, yeah. Alright, so Chris is going to go ahead and bid 3 here. It's a Kaloret Rider's 1. So, whatever trickeration is going on here, I think Furtop was wise to. Way of the Chrysanthemum was played, and here's a Yurt. Okay. I can only imagine the expression on Chris's face as he as he sees this card getting played. Like you have to immediately suspect something, right? So like the second you see weird stuff coming out of a normal deck, when you see stuff like Seeker of Earth, and you see cards like Shinjo Outrider and this Benevolent Ambassador. Oh hey, this card says Gain an Honor. Okay, well at that point in time you have to start being suspicious about what is going to happen to you. Dario is on Enlightenment if I want to cast that at some point. Do I want to go to sleep? Yeah, I just woke up, so I feel like it's probably not the best time for a nap. But sure, I will cover it at some point just to give the deck some more publicity, so that way either people can figure out a real counter to this deck, or perhaps something could happen to it and it could fall off a bridge. Here's a rebuild into Yurt. So that's 2 Yurts. Pretty sick stuff there, doing the rebuild onto the City of the Rich Frogs. So that way, when it does refill, it actually refills up to 3. So in that situation, Yurt was the only card there. So you burn the Yurt, and then it refills, and all these cards come up. So we have Kaloret Rider at 18 honor already. So 7 away from his wonderful victory. He has not yet gotten that many cards. 1 rebuild already spent, and then there's 2 Yurts in the discard, although it doesn't matter quite as much with rebuild. The counter is draw Shouju and pass. Yeah, of course. Since every clan has Shouju, can't hear us saying, can you put a narcolepsy warning on screen if you do show it? Yeah, I'll put it. I'll play some soothing lullaby music in the background too. I'll do it around the lunch break times. That way we can all get the itis and fall asleep immediately after eating. Hello to Tomoya in the stream. Alright, the Benevolent Ambassador gains Kaloret Rider 1 honor, and it's also honored, so at the end of this turn he's going to be going up to 20. Here's warm welcome to get another rebuild I guess presumably rebuild the Yurt here. So he's going to rebuild the Yurt. He will lose a fate from... not a fate, sorry, an honor from unopposed here. So he'll only be at 21 at the end of the conflict, or at the end of the turn, rather. So SirLarge is not going to have the favor. If he has any sentries, then that probably significantly increases his chances of winning here. But we do see a Season of War. We do see another Benevolent Ambassador available for Kaloret Rider. So honor on the way. Potentially. We are 3 minutes in with Unicorn on 20. Yes, I think 4 yurts have been used already. So 2 rebuilds. One yurt was natural, and the other one was discarded. So I guess it's three yurts. All right, here comes Forky. The Benevolent Ambassador was discarded. I guess you have to go ahead and flush this deck as fast as possible, so that way you find your last yurt, and you'll find your other means for card draw. So here's a bunch of stuff here. Outskirt Sentry. There's 2 of them actually. So if you can move, so the Stranger Outrider is gonna get honored. If you can move either of the other sentries into the conflict or the Merchant Curiosities, then you can go ahead and get your honor that way. Sorry, when I have streamer mode on, I actually don't get pings, so it's actually, I have to manually check stuff. Interesting not to buy the Armament Artisan. That would have been 1 extra for sure. He could have. I mean, he has 3 fate. I don't know what this deck runs to where you would need to save fate for something, but we're gonna see an attack here at the air ring. Defense from both these guys. You definitely need to defend this because otherwise, this Stranger Outrider is going to come in and gain the honor and also win the conflict for you. Put you at 24 potential. So no defense from Suki here. Here's a fine Katana coming out. We know it's on Crab Splash. Stranger Outrider is going to get honored. It's actually quite a bit of stats there. Oh, it just says honor a character? Oh yeah, okay, so just choose a participating character, honor that character, okay. So that puts him at 23. No Earth Ring there, so... Or sorry, no air ring trigger. So that would have been the win had he been able to actually win that conflict. But it was a good defense from Chris there. Here comes Astudious, new card in pack 3 here that can be played on either one of these 2 scholars. Gives you stats and also draws you cards. So card draw definitely going to be important here. Court games coming out as well as a Tattered Missive. So Tattered Missive is going to allow him to dig for another rebuild potentially. And Forky also has not been used yet, so. But right now, Kaloret Rider representing 24 or 23, 24 honor, and he gets a contingency plan. So contingency plan definitely will put him up to 25 if Fro cannot dishonor some of these guys out. And it looks like the court games will come out now on the Forky, and that'll dishonor him. Fire Ring trigger here will allow him to dishonor one of these guys. Don't think it super matters which one you pick here. So that limits the reach for Kaloret Rider to 23. So it'll be 22 right now and 23 with the contingency plan too. However, Kaloret are now also out of characters, so the Suki can come in and just get an unopposed attack to drop him down one more against the waves as well, just to make sure that Fro wins this ring. And that'll keep him down to 22 with his reach. So looking to go Earth here. It is Seeker of Earth, so I imagine that one of these provinces is probably going to be like Public Forum or something like that. Before the throne. Oh no. So if Chris does have a let go or a against the waves, then he can go ahead and stop this from triggering, but it looks like he can't. So that'll put him up to 22. 23 and 24 with the contingency plan in hand. So not dead yet, but any yurt flip will do it here. And your rebuild draw will do it here as well. Full flush from Kaloret Rider trying to find that last year. Only 11 cards left in Dynasty, so it's definitely pretty likely. And he finds an Aspiring Challenger and 2 Wild Stallions, so you know, actually kind of fortunate for Chris here. He has one more chance left at life, so he's gonna have to go air here for sure. If he has Display of Power, he can use that on the Fire Ring. So both of these guys, these Aspiring Challengers can honor themselves. We are going to see the contingency plan here. That means that Kaloret Rider, I think, doesn't draw any cards, if I'm correct about how... Okay, and he tries to play away the Chrysanthemum to get his last honor. Oh my god. So you actually almost wonder if you would rather do censure on the contingency plan. That prevents more honor gain and puts him down to 23. Although I don't think that he has any way to do static honoring here. With only one card in hand. So, at this point, if the last card is rebuild, which I think we know it's not rebuild, then Kaloret Rider will win if Fro does not have another censure. So at this point, I think Fro just has to win the game. And again, the most devastating thing he could possibly find here would be something like... Well, actually, I think like Shameful Display would be bad. I think like Kiku Matsuri. No, you can't find Kiku Matsuri. Public Forum would also be bad too because you can't win. And only 8 cards left in Dynasty. The clock is definitely ticking. He finds Upholding Authority, and this is going to be the 5 strength Upholding Authority. So we see no defense. Chris is at strength 6, which means he's going to be able to break this Upholding Authority. Kaloret Rider now actually needs to defend his box. Alright, and here comes Tadaka to replace the Student of the Tau. We are just going to see Tadaka just to get this last card out of his hand. Okay, and the last card was a Slovenly Scavenger, so that, I guess, not super relevant. If you're Kaloret Rider, you just go ahead and play the Scavenger. It's not going to be relevant anymore, but... Censure on contingency plan gives him the card. That is true. So... Why not defend with the horse? I mean, you can always use the horse's action to move it and the challenger in, but at this point, like, you since you didn't get your honor off in that last last little burst, you now have to worry about dying on your box, and so he's probably trying to save these two guys, or all these guys, to defend the stronghold. He's gonna go in with one of them on fire. No, he's gonna go for Earth. Okay, so he's going for Earth here, so that way he can try to dig for rebuild or something like that. He's the 0 political for the body. Hey, you know. So Chris right now trying to figure out, okay, well, how important is it for me to not die here? And so even if he goes for the fire ring, does it matter? So we already we see what he has on board, right? So it's just this challenger plus the stallion. And just on political stats alone, he could probably win this last conflict, depending on what the last province is. Court games plus box is +4, yeah. And we're gonna honor the wild stallion. Alright, so everybody gonna go at box. If this is like ancestral lands, that would really suck, right? It's rebels. Okay, so Tadaka's gonna get bowed here. But it's still strength 5. And the aspirant challenger can now defend with 2 stats. And so, barring any other pump, okay. Alright, so Chris actually bids to win there, or to bid to tie, so that way this challenger doesn't get honored. And he does have court game, so he's going to go ahead and honor himself here. And that should be game. Sorry, I forgot that we saw his hand from this thingy. From the upholding. Yeah, and I think here you actually don't care if the aspiring challenger gets honored, since you're just going to win the game outright. But Chris is just going to bid to tie it anyway. Rebels is breaking. Chris is going to pass, and he will defeat the terror of, of Turbo Yurt. So definitely scary stuff. You know, it came down to these last dynasty draws, and if the Yurt had flipped, then Kaloret Rider would have won. But definitely very close. So fun stuff to see there. We'll go ahead and move on to another game here. Let's see, what can we pull up for you guys? I know some people wanted to see Travis and Akota 2-1, so we'll go ahead and hop into this game. And we'll see what exactly Akota 2-1 is doing. This looks to be probably his hand destruction deck. Let's see what has been used so far. Yeah, there's the letter from the Daimyo. And Policy Debate and Spies at Court. So this is, in fact, the hand destruction deck. You can hover the chat to know which one was used. Which part? So which part of the like the green text you're talking about, or like the actual card box? Okay, that's cool then. Oh, the green one. Okay. Ah, aha. Okay, I see. I see. I see. I see. Nice. Well, thank you for that feature. If it didn't highlight it, then it was the discarded card. Okay. All right. So still a political conflict left for both players. The Prodigy of the Waves is going to stand due to the Prodigy of the Waves effect. T1's going to go ahead and pass the conflict opportunity. Instead of going in on political, I guess he cannot break either of these two provinces with the political rival. So Seppuku Sato obviously preventing him from breaking because he has 0 glory, and Kurimori could just flip the conflict over to military to kick the political rival out. So instead, choosing to go ahead and defend here. Province is left for Akota T1. We saw Upholding Authority already used. This is Seeker of Air, so this is probably Fertile Fields right here. So Manicure Garden, the safer bet because it only gives you 1 fate as opposed to the fate in the card. Guys, please make sure to report your matches as they happen. So, court games discards court games here. And Tadaka will come in to disguise over the Prodigy of the Waves, which will allow Travis to claim the favor after this conflict is over. Staging Grounds will go ahead and flip over a card and reveals a Master Tactician. He only chose to reveal 1 card. I don't know. I guess, if you flip over this card, it gets discarded anyway, so you don't need to do that. And we're going to go ahead and use Tadaka here to look at 3 cards and pluck out 1. Takes out 4 Shame from Censure, 4 Shame, and Ready for Battle. Censure dead here. So, no need to discard that one. Curious that, I guess, at no point during this conflict was a Void Ring attacked. The Prodigy could have been deleted, but I don't know how. I guess we didn't really see how the previous attacks were structured. For those of you who just joined, this is round 1 of the North American London Legion online tournament. We have a smaller turnout this week than most weeks, but it is the first week of Pack 3 meta. So, very exciting stuff. Master Tactician will come down now. Travis opts to pass after just buying an Ethereal Dreamer, so most likely we're going to see some fire coming down in a second. Travis bidding 3, so T1's 1. T1 down to 7 cards, although he does have the Tactical Ingenuity to get him 1 more card. We will probably see Consumed by 5 Fires on this Void Ring attack. So we're seeing everybody going all in right now at the Manicure Garden. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not everybody. So it might just be this ethereal dreamer, and then we'll see consumed by 5 fires. There is exactly 5 fate on Akodo T1's board. Now what we could see here is, so there's one Master Tactician. I think there's a second one in the bin. So if T1 wants to play some cards, he can do it, but I feel like there's not too much need for that. So we're going to see Tadaka effect here first. Go ahead and strip some stuff out of his hand. So we know now 2 other cards in his hand are Censure, and what was the last one? The other one was Ready for Battle. Okay, yeah, so there's the 5 fires. We'll go ahead and burn all this fate off. T1's going to go ahead and pass, and so now I guess it's a question of what you want to delete here. You actually can delete. He's going to delete the Agatoki since it had the Tactical Ingenuity on it. I think deleting the Spirit Caller is probably also pretty good, because that prevents the Taturi play here. Travis could, of course, have Cloud for the Spirit Caller at any point. So Spirit Caller attacking here. I think actually, if you want to break Seppuku Seido, you have to go ahead and send both of them. You have to send Centauro and the Taturi or the Master Tactician in. And so it looks like T1's going to try to go for maybe a Dishonor angle here. And so go ahead and call Taturi in, break the province, and then steal 2 honor. And yeah, so Travis smells it. He's going to go ahead and defend with both of these guys. So if you Spirit Call into Taturi here, it's not going to be enough to go through the box. We could see Against the Waves or Clarity also. Oh no, this is military, so we'd have to see it Against the Waves. And none have been used so far for Travis, so definitely possible. Yep, Travis, I guess, still trying to figure out who he wants to defend with exactly. Oh yeah, Display of Power also works pretty well too. So Seppuku Seido is going to go ahead and die there, but no Display of Power. So Travis is actually going to go down to 2 honor, with still a political conflict left. Box is retired to the Brotherhood, so the Akodo T1 actually cannot make an attack here. Oh, it's not retired. Oh yeah, it is retired. Retires water. That's right. So yeah. But I think if Akodo T1 wants to live, he is probably going to need to defend this conflict. So military conflict here, depending on what Travis has in hand, could be okay. One of the big problems is that if you call Taturi, you can get that Taturi DOP effect, and just by virtue of pure stats right now, Taturi would be winning this conflict. Thanks for the raid, Insanity Rises. I know there is some other stuff going on right now, some World Cup stuff. Way the line's going to come out on the Tatsuri. And Travis is going to try to get over it. So Bonsai here, and he's probably going to have to storm too. He had to pay the honor for the Bonsai, which is really, really scary. If Akodo T1 has any kind of conflict character in hand, that could be real trouble for him. So how many political rivals have we seen so far? We've seen just one. So another political rival here could just covert past the Ujina, and that would kill Travis. Although he wouldn't have enough fate, and he would run to retire to the Brotherhood and still be safe here. But still potentially very scary for Travis here because he is first player, or he's gonna Akodo T1's gonna be first player going into this turn, and he will be able to attack, retire to the Brotherhood, and go in on air. Although Travis does have stats to defend himself from a good bit of this stuff, it's a lot is just going to depend on what T1 flops here. Okay, so not the best flop possible for T1. Honor General and LPB are pretty good here. Ujiaki obviously dead. But on Travis' side, he does have the Inferno Guard Invoker and Suki and Solemn Scholar as well. So definitely some worthwhile buys on both sides. T1's going to go ahead and buy this LPB. Travis will buy the Inferno Guard Invoker. And he's going to pass afterwards too. So not sure what exactly is in his hand. I think if I'm T1, I go ahead and abandon the Dishonor strategy. One thing to note too is that actually with Retire, if I guess it's not a forced reaction, so you don't have to go ahead and trigger it. Yeah, forcing the defense on air is pretty good. I think we haven't seen a cloud yet. Just one cloud. All three let goes for Travis have been used. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's in Travis's hand, but he has been very conservative with playing stuff if he does have it. So if he still has like Against the Waves, then should probably do it. So yeah, we're not going to see Retire trigger here because Travis has too much value on board. And hard defense from Travis just to make sure that he doesn't die here. This is Seeker of Air. I don't think that T1 runs Forbear's Echoes. And a pretty hardy defense from Travis. He is going to be able to use the Inferno Guard Invoker to honor himself here, and Kunikoma will bow the Solemn Scholar. So I would certainly hope that he has some kind of restand here. Alright, so he chooses to honor Tadaka instead of the Inferno Guard Invoker. So, looks like Travis is just going to pass. And so any conflict character, I think now does it. So here's Political Rival for T1. Yeah, it looks like Travis forgot about Q Nakoma. And the Solemn Scholar is going to go ahead and get bowed. So that'll be game for Coda T1. And we'll go ahead and hop over to another game real quick, if there are any other ones. It looks like we have Jeremy and Zarzucket. We'll go ahead and hop into this game. Nice little crane mirror action. Looks like both sides are pretty even right now. Jeremy right now sitting on only box left. Meanwhile, Zarzucket sitting on only box left. Jeremy has not made an attack yet at Zarzucket's box. Looks like he's going to do so now. Going to go for the Fire Ring. Thank you for the follow, Dare. Good guy, Darren. Always here to follow. Nicest guy in L5R. Look, Darren, honestly, like, I hate to give you any kind of credit whatsoever, but you really are a very nice person when you're not on the internet. And so, whatever whatever happens whenever your intentions travel through the vast electronic network of the internet. All right, Tessen's going to come out now to ready this Keeper Initiate, and so we're going to go attack in at the Pilgrimage. Jeremy kind of out of defense here, so he's just going to go ahead and assassinate the Keeper Initiate. And Zarzucket is going to run out of cards to play. So after that policy debate, Jeremy able to see that he was not able to win this conflict, so we'll go ahead and move into the Fate phase here. Jeremy will be second player. Paragon of Grace getting discarded. Is this the kill deck? Yeah, it is the kill deck. Okay. Zarzucket, dedicated Crane kill player. Alright, so Satori going to come out now for Zarzucket. He definitely has enough fate to go ahead and he's going to go ahead and season, which will bring out some Kaizen dupes and a challenger for Jeremy. Jeremy no fate to play the challenger. He's just going to go ahead and do Kaizen here. He can't play the Chancellor's Aid, but I don't think that he's going to need to necessarily. But this is a lot of stats from Zarzucket coming into the box. Yeah, especially with Satori coming in, he can go ahead and attack and give someone a pump. This Cunning Negotiator is quite stout. If he has any way to pump the Kuanon, then I think that Zarzucket will win just by virtue of being first player here. Taryn is rooting for Crane. Of course, you are a Crane loyalist. Of course, you'd be rooting for Crane in this Crane versus Crane matchup when there are no other choices left. All right, so Zarzucket going to come in air here. I think he has to send the house. Choosing not to send the challenge. Okay, no, that's just a misclick. He's going to leave some stuff home though. I feel like if you count up your stats here, you can all in and then just win on by virtue of bigger numbers. So yeah, it looks like he's going to do the math. Right now he's showing 23 on board, right? So 23 plus minus, I guess, 5 from whatever Kuanon bows. Although, yeah, so that's correct. So 23. Jeremy, on the other hand, has, what is that, 16? So 23 to 16 is going to win it for you right there. If Jeremy doesn't have anything, that's without using any Kuanon actions or anything like that, or Satori, then I think Jeremy will die. I don't know what the last 4 cards in his hand are. They could be something that will save him in this situation. Mizumi is not Unicorn Splash. No, he plays Dragon Splash. Well, he might be playing something different here today, but it looks like it is, in fact, Dragon Splash. What is he dicking around with numbers for? I don't know. I just don't. I don't know what could possibly. Okay. Well, here's the kicker, right? It's Kaizen. So if you attack with too much stuff, Kaizen can. Well, hold on. No, because your opponent chooses. So, my God. This seems incorrect. Yeah, I don't understand why. You click all your red numbers, you count them up. Jigoku even counts it for you, and Zarzuki, as one of the coders for Jigoku, maybe you should be aware of this fact. Yeah. But if you go ahead and attack with everybody on military there's no way you can die unless Jeremy had specifically something like Bonsai, which he already played 2 of. Even that wouldn't have been enough. So I don't know. He didn't use the Challenger here. So this is very confusing, and this also opens up an opportunity for an all-in attack from Jeremy here. So Jeremy going to go all-in on fire. Everybody thinking Dishonored, so I guess that's one benefit of what just transpired there. And now there's sort of very little way for Jeremy to win this conflict. And we are going to see defense from these 2 guys, Satori and Kuanon. Sure, that's fine. This leaves just barely enough stats for Zarzuka to go ahead and counterattack on military, because he'll be at 1, 2, 4, 6, 7 with the favor. Although Kaizen could just send himself home at any point, and then he wouldn't be able to break. So deep thinkums here. This is something that I feel like people will need to think less about, right? Is sometimes when you're presented with a situation on board, just play to win based on what's on the board. You don't have to jump through hoops and stuff like that. Sometimes it's better to just go for the most straightforward thing you can possibly do, which is just ram everybody military. Oops, I have this the stream info wrong. Sorry, I just noticed. Does Zara have any voices left? I have no idea, actually. 1, 2 have been played, so it looks like he has 1 more left. But only 3 cards in hand, and we already saw his hand earlier, and it was not threatening. So we will see. The cunning trigger, and then the shameful trigger to counteract that. Oh, sorry, no, it was the other way around. So shameful and then cunning trigger. And now I think what Zarzaka needs to do is he needs to bow somebody with Kuonon. He passed. Okay, so now Katana comes out on this Kuonon, and now he can just bow either one of these two and win the game. So Zarzaka's gonna pass. What happened here? Is this what? I mean, I guess you can still use this Kuonon to bow one of these guys. So he's going to bow the Kuzunobu, but the shameful display is still breaking. Both these guys are still on 1 political, and now Banzai comes out on Kuonon. What? What? He was breaking. Why did he Banzai here? I don't think it mattered. I mean, sure, I think you just go ahead and Banzai now in case there's any way for him to pump Kuonon up. But we're gonna see the +3 glory on the Cunning Negotiator. Okay, now pass from Jeremy. You think these cards would have lost at Zarzak at the all-out military attack? Okay, so let's count it up, right? So that would be 7. There was a total of 6 stats that were added. Okay. Yeah, his characters wouldn't be dishonored. That is true. So Banzai plus Katana would have allowed him to bow one of the other characters. So that would be a swing of -5 +6. Okay. Well, definitely some weird math that went on there, and I really do think that yes, it's possible that Zarzaka would have lost the all-out military attack, but I think you just go ahead and take the chance, right? Like, I don't think you can play around with just you know if you're in a situation where if you attack back, or if you're going to die on the crackback, you have to at least commit to one of the options. Either commit to fully defending or commit to fully attacking. And I think the failure to do either one of those things is what cost Zarzaka this game. Okay, yeah, so it was a punt regardless, because of the forgetting to kill Kuonon. But that'll be the end of this game. So that'll be the end of this round as well. We'll go ahead and leave this game. Let's go ahead and check and see what's going on with the scores and make sure everything is lining up correctly. All games now have finished. This game is a bye, so we'll go ahead and drop this guy, and we'll get the bye the win. All right, so